A complete Sonos Arc surround sound system consists of 4 different components. Now the first is of course the Sonos Arc soundbar. That is the main brain of this entire system. Now addition to the soundbar is the Sonos sub. Now there are 3 different generations of Sonos subs. The most recent one is the Generation 3 that was released along with the Sonos Arc. And then the last 2 components are the surround speakers. Now Sonos has had many different options for these over the years, starting with the Play 1, the Play 3, and the Play 5. Now we're on to the One SL, and the 5. So there's a lot of different variations that this system could look like, but I want to jump into what my system looks like, how it sounds, if I think it's worth the price, and all of that. But yeah, let's jump into things. So this is probably the most requested video I think I've ever had for my channel. Basically on all 3 of my separate reviews, everyone was requesting to see a full surround sound system with this, what my thoughts were on it, did I think it was worth it, all of the above. So this is that video. So I would really appreciate it if you guys would click the like button. That would really help my channel grow, and it helps the YouTube algorithm to help new people find my channel. So enough of that, let's get into things. Now my system has the Sonos Arc, the new Generation 3 Sonos Sub, and 2 Sonos One SLs. Now the Sonos One SL is the microphoneless version of the Sonos One that was recently released. I've been using the system for about a full month now. I picked up the pieces along the way. I first got the Arc, then I got the Sonos Sub, and then I got the 2 surround Sonos One SLs. But it's been a really amazing system to listen to, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, it's expensive, but the audio quality is just fantastic, even in a non-optimally shaped room. Like, we have a slanted roof, so the Dolby Atmos capabilities aren't the best. Upward firing speakers have an odd angle. It's a very open room, not the best like home theater type environment, but it's still been absolutely incredible to listen to. Like, me and my girlfriend, we haven't watched the John Wick movies. We somehow missed those. So we watched John Wick, we watched John Wick 2 the other night, and we'll be watching John Wick 3 very soon. And just the whole audio experience in very action-packed movies is absolutely incredible. I really don't know any other way to express it. The sub handles the low end like a complete and total boss. The Sonos Arc, the soundbar, handles the mid-range and the highs very beautifully. Like, they sound very pristine and clear. There's no muffling, there's no distortion to them at all. And the surround sound effects are a little lackluster in my case, just because the room shape is not very good, as I've already explained. So the surround sound effects, they're not the best. The upward firing speakers, I can hear them, they work well, but it could work a lot better in a rectangular shaped room, not in my odd shaped open living room. But regardless, the soundbar itself sounds really, really good, and I'm very happy with the audio quality. The Sonos One SLs complete the surround sound experience because now I actually have speakers behind me while I'm sitting down. They really do create and fulfill that surround sound experience that you want, instead of trying to emulate it from the soundbar itself. So it really does sound good. The Sonos One SLs, they're not that expensive, so I think adding them's kind of a no-brainer once you've already spent like $1,500 on the soundbar and sub itself. So adding just a little bit more to it, it really does make that much more of a difference, and I think it's worth it in the end. Now, the system is great and all, but it does come in over $1,800 for the full system, which is stupid expensive. Like, $1,800, you could get you such an amazing traditional surround sound system as far as the receiver, all the cables needed, 3 front channel speakers, 2 rear speakers, possibly even 2 upward firing or ceiling speakers. Like, $1,800 can get you a long way in a traditional surround sound system. But what this Sonos Arc system has over anything else, even other soundbar systems, is how simple it is and easy it is to set everything up. Now, the main thing that makes this system so easy to set up is the fact that it's completely wireless. Now, in a traditional system, you'd have to run speaker wire for every single speaker. Now, so that'd be 3 in the front, 2 rear speakers, and then if you use upward firing or ceiling speakers, you have to get the wires to those as well. Now, that's what makes traditional systems so difficult and not very appealing to most people. But with this system, everything's wireless. So you can literally set the system up in any household and not have any issues with it. All you need is an HDMI cable from the TV's Arc or eARC port, connect that to the soundbar, and plug the soundbar into power. That's all you need for the Arc itself. Now with the sub, you just need a power cable, and with the Sonos One SLs, those need just a single power cable as well. Now on all of these, you do have the option to hardwire them instead of running them through your Wi-Fi network, but I really haven't had any latency issues or cutting in, cutting out issues with any of it. So I think running it over your wireless network is going to be a perfectly fine solution as long as there's not too much interference or anything like that. Now the thing that's better about this system over just about everything else is the TruePlay tuning software. Now TruePlay is Sonos's sound calibration software, and it basically maps out the entire sound profile for the room. So as you're setting everything up, it's going to ask you to do the TruePlay tuning, and you definitely should because it makes such a large difference. I mean, you have to realize most receivers out there, I mean, they're starting to add this ability, but it's still kind of complicated and it doesn't work the best. Most soundbars don't even have this capability to change the calibration or automatically calibrate it. Sonos has built this into their software, and it's a big plus that everyone should really mention and really think about as they're making a purchase like this. Now, another pro about this system that's not the same with most other high-end soundbar systems like this is that you can individually buy the components. So you can buy the Sonos Arc, then you can buy the sub, then you can buy the One SLs, or you can buy the Arc, then the One SLs, then the sub, and you can spread it out over whatever distance that you want. You don't have to buy it all at a single time, so that's a nice way that you can kind of buy one component, enjoy it, save up some money, buy the next component, enjoy it, and then keep upgrading over time. And that kind of goes into my next point as well, is that this system's kind of future-proof. Now the Sonos Arc is a very good soundbar. The previous soundbar, the Sonos Playbar, lasted them about 8 years, or 8 or 9 years that it was in the market, and it still was very competitive to some other soundbars out there. So I think the Sonos Arc will be a very good component to have for a long time. And if you want to upgrade your surround speakers, so if you want to go from Ones or One SLs to the Sonos 5, which is a much larger, much better speaker, you could definitely do that. Anyways, this system has a very, very good sound profile, and it sounds absolutely amazing. Now, is it worth it for the price, the sound quality alone? No, I don't think so. But as a complete set, how everything works, how it's so easy to set up, I think yes, it is worth it for the price. If you are capable of doing a traditional surround sound system where you can run the wires and do everything, you can make a much better system for over $1,800, like very easily done. But if you don't want to deal with the mess of running wires and setting up a receiver, running all these cables and all of that, the Sonos Arc surround sound system would be absolutely incredible and very, very easy for just about anyone to set up. So now that I've praised everything a little bit, I want to talk about the things that I don't like so much. Now, the first thing being, of course, is the price. I don't like the fact that it was over $1,800 to get all these pieces. The second thing I don't like about this system is the fact that there's no Bluetooth capability. And at first I was saying, you know, that's not really a big con for me. I have an iPhone and everything seems to work fine with me. But when I tried to use this with my computer, let's say I want to output audio from my computer to the entire system, or even to the just the One SLs, I wasn't able to do it. And that really, it kind of bummed me out because I love how everything sounds, but it's not going to be compatible with everything. You have to have an iPhone or a Mac computer in order to play any audio off of it, and you have to use certain music services connected to your Sonos account in order for everything to work properly. So I wish they would just add Bluetooth. It makes it really simple to connect it and play audio, but you know, we're kind of here now, so we just kind of have to deal with it. The next thing that kind of bums me out is the fact that TruePlay doesn't work on Android phones. Now, I understand why they do this because the microphones across iPhones are very standardized, but I think if they could add at least the capability to some of the higher end or more popular Android phones, I think that'd be a little bit better. But the fact that it's not capable at all, I mean, it kind of sucks for all the Android users out there, which is an extremely large user base. I don't like the fact that the Sonos Arc only has a single HDMI port on it. So it does use an HDMI eARC port, which is great, so we get super high quality audio if your TV has an eARC port on it as well. But, you know, my TV only has 3 HDMI inputs on it, one of those being an HDMI ARC port. So now I only have 2 HDMI ports I can actually use for devices. So what I'm going to run into in the future is if, you know, I want to add a Blu-ray player or something else to my system, I'm going to have to constantly be switching out HDMI inputs on it, or I'll have to switch to a receiver or a HDMI switcher or something just to make it easier on myself. So I'm not constantly unplugging and plugging in cables. So I can see where some people are coming from, where they'd like to have a bunch of HDMI inputs on the soundbar, but I also see where Sonos is coming from to try and make it really streamlined and easy for people to use. Now, the last thing that I don't like about this system is the lack of DTSX support. Now, DTSX is the basically competitor to Dolby Atmos. It's made by a different company. It's basically used as the audio codec for a lot of Blu-ray movies. Most Blu-ray movies only have enough space for one of these audio codecs, so either Dolby Atmos or DTSX. Most of them don't have enough space to store both of those audio codecs on them. Now, how this can be a con for some people and not for others is if you actually use Blu-ray movies. I myself, we don't watch Blu-ray movies, we do everything over streaming. So whether that's Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, those are the 3 main streaming platforms that we use, and YouTube TV as well. I think that's the case for a majority of people. I think the people who are actually using Blu-ray DVDs and Blu-ray discs is becoming a smaller and smaller percentage as streaming becomes more and more popular. So I can see how it's a con for some people, but then I think for a majority of people, it's not really a big deal. That's going to be a controversial comment. Now quickly I want to go over the Sonos app and the different settings available once you have everything set up. I'm not going to go over any of the setup process because it's so simple to do. I really don't think it's worth mentioning here. So first off, you have simple EQ settings where you can adjust the bass and the treble. There's also a setting called loudness, which makes the quiet sounds a little louder and the really loud sounds a little quieter. Next is the True Play tuning. So here you have the option to either enable or disable it. If you have it set it up, you can also choose to set it up right there. Then we have the surround audio settings. Now this controls both the Sonos One SLs or whatever speaker you have set as the surround speakers. Now the settings available are music level, TV level, and then music playback mode. Now for music playback mode, you can select either ambient or full, and also we have the sub audio settings. Now that controls the Sonos sub, so here you can either turn on or turn off the sub, as well as adjust the level, and I like to bump it up a little more than just 0. Lastly, we have the volume limit. Now I actually use this feature a lot because as I mentioned in just about every other video, the system gets stupid loud. I can't really get it above about 75% audio without feeling like my neighbors are gonna come kick my door down because it's really, really loud. So here you can easily set the maximum volume level you'll let it go to, and then it adjusts accordingly. So if you set it to 65% and put it all the way up to 100%, then the max volume that it's gonna be at is at 65. So it's a very useful feature actually. Now overall, I really do love this system. Yes, it was very expensive, but if you're into high-end audio and you don't want to deal with the traditional surround sound system where you have the receiver, all the speaker wires, you have to drill holes for your speakers, etc., then this is a great solution for you. You know, a little over $1,800 at the time of recording, and everything's wireless. It works flawlessly for me and a lot of other people, and it sounds absolutely incredible. So if that's something you're interested in, I do have links in the description to buy all of these components, whether you want to buy the full system, the soundbar, the sub, the One SLs, the ones, whatever you want to do. All those links are in the description. If you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate it if you click like. If you didn't enjoy it, please click dislike and tell me what you thought. What can I improve on in these videos? What could I do better? If you're not subscribed to the channel, please click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So this is my cat Voodoo. He's a fat boy. See him right there? He's chilling. Don't bite my mic. Okay, all right. Another thing that makes this soundbar, so that is a really good thing about all of this. I'm just repeating myself at this point because he's like, dude, what are you staring at? This is my cat, Mr. Kitty. He likes to interrupt my recording sessions, and that's why I kind of have to kick him out whenever I'm recording and lock them in a room. But he's kind of being chill right now, probably not with his mama playing with a laser pointer, so it's kind of distracting. But this is a very good cat. He's chill, so maybe he'll calm down. Nope.